Hello, Skive here with some thoughts of the day, and I wanted to talk about Dogecoin. So Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency I've been in since its very first creation. I tried to mine it, epic fail. I've been tipped most of it. I've bought quite a bit of it. I've given some away, lost some to some scams, and I've just been a big proponent and participator of the community since its inception.
Why do you have...
And one of the reasons I really like Dogecoin was that its community. It has a very strong, very friendly, very engaged community. It's not as strong as it once was, but it's still very engaging. I had been aware of Bitcoin since 2010 and started kind of really looking into it in 2012, but really didn't start getting into it until 2013. And I found it very challenging to participate in Bitcoin because of the information wasn't as sound as it is now. It wasn't easy to understand. When you ask questions or look at forums for, noobs, it wasn't very inviting. It wasn't very engaging. But with Dogecoin, it was the absolute opposite. People guided you through how to set up mining, how to set up the different wallets, how to, if you're on Windows, Apple, Linux, whatever your operating system is. And one of the primary reasons that made it so engaging was, as a community, we didn't take it too seriously. It's a joke coin. It was a meme coin. So people started tipping stuff. We started, doing fundraisers for charitable events. We got the Jamaican bobsled, a car, NASCAR with a Dogecoin on it. And it became engaging and fun. Of course, this caused a lot of scammers to come into the space, take advantage of, quite frankly, it was a bunch of very young, either high school or college age kids. A lot of us didn't have really crypto experience, so we were basically easy marks. And it really, it wrecked the community. It really did. It did bounce back a bit, but it's not to the heights that it once was. The development hasn't occurred much on Dogecoin since 2015, and yet it's still mined. You often find Dogecoin used as a mining reward for miners. It can entice people to come to their pool. You see Dogecoin, even though there was a scandal with Doge Tip Bot, there's another Dogecoin bot that's actually on chain called Doge Tip through the Reddits. Let's see, there's still businesses that accept Dogecoin, not as pervasive or prevalent as before. People still hold it, people still mine it, people still run nodes, people still engage. And a lot of it is probably just a hope that it will increase in value like it has now. It has hit a cent twice in the marketplace within the last week and a half. And I think it's good. I always believed that Dogecoin was never going to be a high value crypto. I never believed it was going to be like $1, though that would be nice, or $100 or $300 like Dash or Litecoin or anything like that. I always felt that it was going to be like a penny, nickel, dime crypto. And the reason why is because it's 100 billion of it. It has inflation built into it, where 5.24 billion Dogecoin are going to be created every year after that 100 billionth coin has been made, which occurred in 2015. Now, some people were very against this kind of change, and I understand why. It's because of the value. The rarer the coin, the less coins out in the marketplace, the higher the value of what you have. If something is very rare, it's going to increase in value if people want it. Look at Bitcoin. Only 21 million will ever be created. And it's trading around 16,000 again. So you have that. But I felt that there was a potential in Dogecoin because of the community, because of a lot of it, and because of the little small inflation factor in it. And I felt that it could be a strong use test case of the economic principle. You need inflation to propels spending. But two, because people don't like owning a fraction of something. Okay, you see this all the time. Unless there is a consensus understanding that you will only own a fraction of something when you get into it and not the whole of something, then people are hesitant and be like, no. Maybe they don't want the fraction, maybe they want the whole for something. For example, pizza. You have an understanding there, depending on the size of the pizza you get, you're going to get maybe 1 or 2 slices of a pizza. You know that going into a thing. So either you participate with your friends to get, a couple of pieces to share, knowing that you're only going to get a couple, maybe 2, 3, depending on your size and your appetite, 4 slices of pizza. You know that going in. But maybe you don't want that. Maybe you want actually to sit down and eat a whole pizza. I mean, who's never done that? Probably nobody who's ever had pizza has never done that. But for the most part, people know going into something, they're going to get a fraction of something. But when it comes to maybe not something like food, but something of, economic value, people don't like having a fraction of something. They don't like when they inherited a house and they have to divvy it up between their siblings, and one sibling holds out and says, I don't want to sell their portion of the house. They want to keep the house. So you have to either buy that person out, or you can't sell the house because you need to have all 3 players to agree and go to the court system. You see that all the time, particularly if the will or the understanding of how the estate's going to be divvied up is never expressed prior to the person passing away. If you knew prior that, hey, the 3 of us are going to get a third of this property, a third of this estate, I know so-and-so wants to keep the house, I can plan now that this is the X amount of value I'm going to be willing to part with my share. So you can be bought out, and that person can, in essence, own the property, whether it be right out, buying you out right out, or over a period of time. People can plan for something like that. But for the most part, it's within human nature. They want the whole of the thing. That's why people are buying whole Bitcoin. A lot of noobs not fully understanding that they can buy fractional amounts and then build up from there. Stacking your Satoshis, whether it's because you're a merchant or a trader, or just buying, on a weekly basis, a set amount, no matter what fraction you get, you're always going to purchase, with your dirty fiat, $50. But that all being said, Dogecoin over the last, I'd say, couple years, even from the very beginning, has been subject to a bunch of pump and dump groups. And now there has been a concerted effort within the last 3 weeks to kind of ride the coattails of the wave of enthusiasm for Bitcoin, the amount of money that is kind of being pumped in right now, to take advantage of people and pump this coin up. You see this happen throughout the year where whether it be these Telegram groups, let's see what else, these like little chat forums, these YouTube pumpers that would say, like, mind you, after they bought a significant amount of the coin, and they start pumping a coin saying, hey, go buy this coin, this is a good steal, it's at this value, I predict it's going to be up to here, blah 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 blah. And you see this happen time and time again. And many of these people, whether they realize it or not, are going to they're going to have the hammer put down upon them. There's been a few really serious scandals and scams that have gone on in this space, BitConnect being one of them. Gladia coin is another. Regal coin, I'm sure, is up there in the preview of some different regulators across the different countries, or at least lawsuits going around. But that being said, seeing these groups pump Dogecoin, I don't think they're gonna get their Satoshis, they're gonna get their little value, but Dogecoin is, unlike these other coins, they're not gonna disappear. It's been through this experience before. The community is ready for it, they embrace it. They just go buy in with the rest of the crowd and hold. They hold their Dogecoin. They hold it for a while. They spend some of it a little bit for some, whether converting it to Bitcoin or purchasing items, but they hold it because they believe in the coin. They don't take themselves seriously. They don't mind stacking Dogecoin up to 1 million or 2 million or 3 million Dogecoin. They're waiting for the long-term game, and maybe people will finally come back around when many of these other coins are dying out, or if not demonstrated or shown any utility beyond price or storage of value, that maybe people are going to look at Dogecoin and see this is a coin that's going to have a little inflation amount. There's plenty of it. It's distributed across the world. It is pretty decentralized. There are nodes, there are operators, there's things that go on, and people can participate. They can engage. They can be part of Dogecoin. So I think we'll see this go cycle in and out, hitting up a penny, maybe up as high as 10 cents. Just be very wary, very leery of it. If you want to sell out, go ahead. It's not financial advice. I'm just going to hold my Dogecoin. I'm going to hold it for a while. I've been holding it since 2013. I've spent some of it. I've, like I said, I've been scammed out of it. I'm going to buy some more of it. I believe in this coin. I think it has utility. I think it has some value. I think when people start around 2018, particularly these Wall Street guys, looking at coins that potentially have long-term market value that they can get behind, I think Dogecoin is going to be on that list. Joke or not, is going to be on that list. And have your fun, you pump and dumpers. Okay? We're not going anywhere. You're not going to destroy this coin. You're not going to rope some developers or anything like that into this. You might have a fight on your hands versus other coins that didn't really have a strong community. You might have people saying, hey, this is a pump and dump. You might not want to participate. Just wait for it to go down. Wait for it. Hold your Dogecoin and see how that goes. And we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I think they're taking a lot advantage of the holiday, where not a lot of people are in the in the market mind frame. They're not checking the price. They're not going onto all the different charts. They might not be going onto the exchanges or anything like that. They're in the holiday feel, at least primarily in the West, maybe not so much for the rest of the globe. But, when people kind of shake it off past the new year, yeah, I just don't think it's going to go the way they want it. I do think I would love to see a substantial, due to the community, due to the development, due to the utility of Dogecoin, for Dogecoin to be at the value of 1 penny. But right now, I think it's because of the hype of Bitcoin. We're kind of riding that wave, and because these pump and dumpers, that is at a penny. But who knows? Maybe these pump and dumpers might be to the benefit of Dogecoin, and will stick around at a penny value, and then people might start scooping it up and using it because of the transaction issues on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they want to make some purchases, and they know they can do so because Dogecoin is accepted at different vendors and merchants that they utilize. So that's it. That's my thoughts. I hope you all had a pleasant holiday. Oh no, don't do over, Candace. I don't want them to swat me. I've got dogs. I want my dogs to live, especially Falcor, my precious little baby. I hope not. That would really suck. I don't want to get swatted. That is no fun. That is no fun at all. But thank you for your comment. But for the most part, I hope you guys had a pleasant holiday. Looking at the news, seeing what people are trying to skirt by with everyone not looking. There's some shadiness, particularly in the futures markets. I think they're trying to take advantage of the bit of the lull, the bit of the morals of people who had bought high at 19,000 and seeing their now seeing that 20K. But we'll see. I also think the Wall Street guys are gonna get a rude awakening, because it's not as The Last Jedi, which is in the trailers, so it's not a spoiler. This is not going the way you think it's gonna go. It's just not. And it'll be fun and interesting. It's only been a couple weeks in. Apparently, the New York Stock Exchange is supposed to get involved. They only rate for cats. I also have cats, clients size big. Unfortunately, these cats are not mine, but I do live with them. So I guess I'm pretty much screwed. And I'm gonna get some chickens too. So they're just gonna come to my little tiny farmhouse and just take me out. That's no fun. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think we're gonna hit 20K at the end of the year. I think we're pretty much gonna get back to some grounds like 17, maybe 18, not as high as 19. I think it's gonna take a while for that, and we're gonna have some sideways movements there for all the coins. The biggest coin I think is gonna really have the huge issue in 2018 is Ethereum, because how many smart contracts can be broken? How much congestion in the network can occur before people start getting like really, really pissed and start dumping and be like, I'm not ready to do this. I'm going to go for a different platform, or I am going to peace out for a bit and wait instead of participating within the network and pumping money in. So yeah, I think it's going to be a make or break for Ethereum in 2018 personally. They really need to get some of their fundamentals together, basically get their shit together in some regards. Otherwise, they might they might see some other smart contract platforms take their position. But we'll see. Yeah, 18K, such a maze. But 2018, it's going to be the year for a lot of different things, and maybe Dogecoin will have a year. Who knows? But for the most part, for those who are Dogecoin enthusiasts, just be a lookout, be wary that this pump and dump is coming. It's going to get a little high, I think. I think they're going to really try to pump it in January. Try to take advantage of noobs. Search caramel popcorn? I do like me some caramel popcorn. But, be wary of these Telegram groups, these forums. They're not in your best interest, and depending on where you are in the region of the world, you can get caught up some legal stuff. The crackdown is coming. The SEC has made a couple different types of warnings this year. It's coming. It'll be interesting to see what happens come tax time, how many crypto currency users, whether they're publicly declared or not, start going on the forums and saying that their tax return has been rejected. Because the IRS does not have to accept your return. They can reject it and not give you any kind of really specifications as to why necessarily. So we'll see what happens. So that's it for now. Thank you, people in the chat, my personal James Bond, dual overhand camness, and until next time, to the moon.